Every year in the NFL, a running back hits the free agent market looking for a payday, and every year he is let down due to the lack of value at the running back position. And even though the running back is the most physical position in the sport, teams will not pay their back anymore, even if they are deserving. And you can see that in Josh Jacobs, league rushing leader, who is not even offered a contract extension by the Raiders, and who will have to play on the franchise tag or sit out. In 2023, this is brought to the forefront as there are huge names in the free agency market for running backs such as Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott, but I suspect that they will not get paid as they are supposed to. So in this video, I'll break down 3 running backs who are in different stages of their NFL career and how the lack of the market affects them in the future.
I be popping bottles, sparkles and champagne. VIP my section, royalty looking sexy, you know that be my thing.
So to start this video, I'll be looking at my boy Josh Jacobs, who as a fan, I would love for the Raiders to pay him, even though I know it usually doesn't work out to pay running backs. Just for both his on the field and off the field work. Not many people know this, but outside of the Raiders building, Jacobs hosts youth football camps for the Las Vegas community. And on the field, he breaks Raiders records and puts up numbers similar to Marcus Allen, while also becoming the league's rushing leader with 1,653 yards rushing on 4.9 yards per carry. And just to make that fact even more impressive, he had 2,053 total yards from scrimmage. And despite all of this, he will not get a contract extension in 2023 as a deadline has passed. That passed on Monday. Allegedly, the two sides were close. I'm not sure if I believe it, but it doesn't matter because they didn't make the cutoff, and now Jacobs has to make this decision, which is, will he play on the franchise tag and risk injury in lieu of a payday, or will he hold out and force a release or trade from the Raiders? It's also important to note that in a tweet reply, Jacobs stated that he never tried to reset the running back market, but was more concerned about financial security, which is something that I agree with. I think running back, to me, the NFL has to do something about this because these guys just want to be secure. They play the most physical position in the sport, and with CTE and brain health coming to the forefront in football, it's important that they get compensated financially. And even though it's not realistic right now, because for what it's worth, the running back market is devalued and there isn't value in it, like there's still players, and a guy like Jacobs, who was our entire offense, still needs to get paid. And so as a Raiders fan, I'd love for Jacobs to just tough it out and play on the franchise tag, but I understand his anger and his reluctance to do so because this team is piss poor. Personally, I think we should just start a GoFundMe for him for $40 million and just hand it to him to stay for like 2 or 3 years. But that's just my take on the entire situation. Man, I hope Jacobs finds a home, man. And if it's not with the Raiders, I hope someone pays him. So next, I'll be taking a look at Dalvin Cook, who is currently a free agent in the NFL after being released from the Vikings. Dalvin Cook is an impressive running back who has posted 4 straight 1,100-yard seasons while also averaging greater than 4.4 yards per carry in each of those seasons. In 2022, Dalvin Cook posted 1,173 rushing yards with a total of 1,468 total yards from scrimmage on 4.4 yards per carry. He has also been elected to 4 straight Pro Bowls and is looking for a new team to call his home. And unfortunately, I believe that it's unlikely for Dalvin to get a contract similar to Christian McCaffrey's 4-year, $64 million contract, as Dalvin is set to turn 28 in the season. And as is the topics of today's video, the NFL does not like paying running backs. I don't think there's going to be a running back in the next couple of years who get even close to Christian McCaffrey's extension of $17 million per year. I think it's very unlikely. And unfortunately for Dalvin Cook, his future and financial security rides on the next team that signs him and the contract he gets. And to me, I'd be shocked if he gets over $14 million per year annually. I understand the business side of it, and I wish guys like him would get paid. But just sadly, the salary cap and the way they value the position and the way that they can just fall off due to guys like Todd Gurley or a guy like Isaiah Pacheco getting picked in the 7th round, who I will be talking about later in today's video, getting picked in the 7th round and then winning the Super Bowl and helping the Chiefs win the Super Bowl in his first year. It's just something that, devalues the market for running backs. All right, so lastly, I want to touch on going into his second year, Isaiah Pacheco, who won the Super Bowl last year in his rookie year. And Pacheco is a 7th round running back who is set to earn $3.7 million over the course of his rookie contract. $3.7 million, playing the most physical position in sports outside of the offensive line and defensive line. And so I wanted to touch on Isaiah Pacheco because rookies like him are faced with misery in that no matter how good they play, they will not get paid how they should due to the business of the NFL. And it's made even worse for Pacheco because he will only earn $3.7 million in his rookie contract playing for the most physical position in sports. And then after playing out his rookie contract, the Chiefs could apply the franchise tag to him, and assuming the running back market is still devalued, it won't be as much as other positions, and after he plays out the franchise tag, they'll just release him. And so young running backs like Isaiah Pacheco, and specifically the late round backs who don't get as much financial compensation, they get boned by the NFL's unwillingness to pay running backs. And unfortunately for him, no matter how good he is, he may never see generational wealth through his NFL career, which to me is just unfair because of the lasting physical and mental damage. And so they have to ask themselves this question: will the toll on their physical and mental health really be worth the scraps they are getting paid in today's NFL compared to other positions? Guys like wide receivers like Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill facing generational paydays which will set their families up for life, and guys like Isaiah Pacheco who would be really unlikely to ever see over $13 million per year. And let's not get things confused, that's still a lot of money, but it's not generational wealth. To me, generational wealth is something you can pass down to your kids and have them live their entire life without ever needing to work if they choose to. And then I'd say one more generation. I call that, those 3 layers, I call that generational wealth. Now it's all theory, but I could go more into it. But yeah, I just don't see how a guy like Pacheco would ever get generational wealth, and that just isn't fair to him. No matter how well he plays, he just gets boned, and that's unfair to the rookie running backs coming into the NFL. And I could imagine we see a switch. So in my opinion, something needs to be done. I understand the business side of the sport and why running backs don't get paid, because guys like Todd Gurley gets arthritis and Le'Veon Bell just falls off a fucking cliff after he gets a payday. And then guys like Isaiah Pacheco get drafted in the 7th round and provide value for their team. But we have to remember that the NFL is a physical sport, and the mental and physical damage sustained can and will be permanent. And so in my opinion, it's important for players to get paid based on their performance. Before the running back position right now, it's impossible to do so. Like I said, I understand the unwillingness to pay backs what they deserve. I get it. From a business standpoint, I absolutely understand. You pay for the value that you get, and if the running back is not valued, if the running back market is devalued, then you pay them what the market is. But in my opinion, the NFLPA has to step in and do something, or else running backs will die out, because it is not worth the long-term physical and mental damage. And people don't talk about that enough. There is lasting physical and mental damage, and while I get they signed up for it, I reckon the guys that work their ass off every day are in early, out late. Like, they're looking to get more than they have and get some financial security for their family at the very least, if not generational wealth. And right now for the running back position, it's just impossible to do so. So for looking to the future, I don't know what they could do, but I just hope to see guys get what they deserve. You know what I mean? Guys like Josh Jacobs, who set the bar for a running back, and just Josh Jacobs carries the Raiders to 6 wins. Like, it's the truth. And I just hope guys like him get paid what they deserve eventually and can set their families up type shit. All right, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, go fuck yourself. Yeah, I'm just playing. I appreciate y'all watching. Subscribe if you want to. It's up to you though.